留意，飛機現正補充燃料，請留喺座位，但無需扣上安全帶。本航機係全程禁煙航班，多謝。Hello everyone. It is a safety requirement that all
唔好再亂講嘢啦。You're my boss. You're my boss now. You're my boss now. 我想講，你啱啱見唔見到部Spirit 喺嗰邊？係咪啊？私人飛機，喂，我想講有架即時八喺隔離，日間站喎，載人。呢度隔離。呢啲係咪貴啲？
呢咪 Tammy 啲頭髮有啲核突。